There's something really remarkably sort of liberating and amazing to hear a UFC champion talking about imposter syndrome, because it really does feel like, it feels like there's no, and I know this is an obvious misconception. It really doesn't feel like someone with your swag and confidence could feel those things. You talked there about therapy as well. And when you spoke to Joe Rogan about therapy and about after your UFC debut, that swirl you went through, I wrote about this in my book because I got really compelled by this really bizarre thing that happened in my life when my company joined the stock market, and I'm sat in my room in Manchester and it's worth 300 million and I'm figuring out how much money that means I've got, and it feeling like the worst day of my life. And then when I heard you talking a little bit about how you felt after your UFC fight, hiding in the toilet when people are pestering you to ask you questions, that annoying dude sitting down next to you when you've tried to hide.
After my UFC debut, the after party, it was after the fight, it's always, like I said, I get pulled in so many different directions, and it's just like, it was my first time in the UFC, so I was my first time experiencing all that. And it's like coffee. It's a stimulant. Coffee is a stimulant. So after your UFC debut and you show out like the way I did, I stole the show. I came in there and I stole the show, and it was just like, psh, 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 psh. Cameras, this, we need you to interview this, come talk to this person, da, 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 da. And then I didn't get time to myself till I got back home. And when I was back home and I was in my own house and finally away from all the noise, and it's just like, whew. And then I remember, it's like coffee. You drink coffee, you got the coffee high, and then you crash. So it's literally that, like just lack of the stimulant, and I just crashed. And I was like, why am I sad? I just found myself being really sad. And I remember, it's probably on my old phone, me documenting my recovery. Because I was just like video diaries, that is. I was like, why am I sad? Like, I made 6 figures in my UFC debut. That's including the bonus as well. Yeah. And I'm just like, there's no need to be sad. I fucking killed that shit. And that's when I started to kind of like take therapy seriously, because I was like, okay, I'm not going to be one of these bad statistics, that you hear about in entertainment. So yeah, I had to, I guess, take a hard look at myself, but then therapy helped with that, because then you find the right person who can kind of help you, I guess, figure you out. And all they do is just ask you the right questions and then show you, I guess, yourself. Yeah.
Because I heard you say that you picked up tools from therapy that helped you sort of navigate all of that attention in this new position you were in. What were the tools?
Oh, so it wasn't until I fought Brunson that I was able to go back home and just kind of like, I keep saying it's like I came back from prison. What do you call it? Like, weave back into society, regular life normally, It was until that was my 4th UFC fight. But then each fight after that, same thing. I go back home and I just like have this crash. And I had to realize, okay, this is something that I can't have happen constantly, because it's not healthy. A tool I can say that helped me, one of the ones that helped was Charlemagne's book at the time, Shook Ones, Anxiety Playing Tricks on Me. I read that I finished reading that actually during the Brunson fight. That fight week, I finished reading that, and I got a lot of gems from that book. But from therapy, from my own experiences, talking to myself, the self-talk, because we all have negative self-talk, but looking in the mirror and talking to yourself, speaking to yourself like you would to someone you're giving advice to, because when you look in the mirror, you humanize yourself. And I'll start to like, just have a conversation with myself, even like G myself up if I want to big myself up, things like that. So that's a tool that I feel like is really underrated. And it looks crazy, standing in front of the mirror and talking to yourself, but it's a really powerful tool if you know how to use it right.
Fighters don't talk much about their mental health. I think Whittaker did the other day, and you kind of thanked him and applauded him for doing that, for being vulnerable.
Yeah, I mean, I put him in a dark place after that first fight. And I understand, because guess what? He was trying to do the same thing to me. A guy I respect is Tyson Fury, because he spoke about that, to ends, like, and how dark he went. He went to like the depths of hell in his own head. And then he's risen above it. And he says like he battles with it every day. I feel like, look, there's your spectrum of physical health. It's just super healthy, super ill. If you do not look after yourself and your physical health, you're going to get physically ill. Same way, if you don't look after your mental health, you're going to get mentally ill. So I feel like it's like someone saying like, I don't go to therapy, fuck all that shit. No. It's like, well, do you take vitamins? Do you go to the hospital? It's not something to be, shy, like, whatever from. I feel like you should look after your mental health the same way you look after your physical health. So once I learned how powerful that was, I'm always on top of it.